I have been wanting to share it more authentically, more raw about my spiritual awakening. And it is because I feel that somebody will want to hear this or need to hear this in whatever part of the journey they're in. And if I can leave that legacy in this planet online for somebody to actually listen to this, maybe when I'm not even here, what a great gift. And it's also because I've been witnessing and experiencing that it's so great to share the beautiful things about spiritual awakening. This like the ascension, it's like, woo, butterflies and rainbows and unicorns and whatever it is that you like, right? But then when it comes about the deeper aspects of it, the tears, the anger, the frustration, the sadness, like the very shadow aspect of it is like, whoa, like, why are you sharing these things? That's too much. Or like, I remember once I, um, I had posted a photo of me crying. And like somebody replies like, I don't really take photos of me crying. Like, I don't know way, like, I don't know what you're doing, right? And so, like, I do it because that's human. That's part of being human. And we have been censoring or like putting aside that part of our humanity that is so important and crucial in our own journey. Whether you think that you're going through spiritual awakening or not, like parenthesis, we are all going through spiritual awakening, whatever you want to call it. And that is the beauty of being human. It's so beautiful to feel the tears, to like that amazing release that the body needs, that scream, that raw scream of anger and frustration to just be like, oh my gosh, wow, thank you. Or just, of course, the bliss, right? But maybe we have been conditioned, or maybe this just a society situation for now that is like, yes, let me see your smiles. All right, let me see how amazing you're doing. Let me see all these beautiful photos in social media. And then, oh my gosh, why are you showing that you're sad? Or why are you sharing all these things? And let me tell you something. For that response exactly. So that something in you gets hit, like, oh, whoa, whoa, because you're thinking about it, right? Like going back into the example that I gave, right? So that girl thought about it. It's like, wow, this girl is just putting a photo of her crying. And how that made me feel, Obviously not very good based on her comments, right? And and so here I am, finally listening to my own intuition in this part of the podcast. Because part of the podcast it wasn't only just about sharing the wisdom that I have through my spiritual awakening and the messages that I receive and the trainings and whatever else, is to also show you my humanity, to show you a part of my awakening. So then maybe you don't feel as alone in your own process. Maybe you have this light bulb moment like, holy moly, this is so normal. So then maybe you feel held by me in these energies. So then we feel the oneness as we're moving through this spiritual awakening together. Because it's not that I like reach the top, Is there even a top? We continuously ascend. And I'm in the journey as well, you know? I also cry. I cry a lot, actually. I just spent I just took like Zeus, our puppy, to the vet, and I cry on the way to the vet and on the way back, feeling my heart opening so much, so much. And this is what happens, honoring that humanity in me, honoring that humanity in you. So again, that takes us back into unity, into that even though we're having different human experiences in some kind of shape or form, in different human forms, behind the scenes, we're the same energy. We're moving, we're growing, we're expanding. And it's such a beautiful thing. So that being said, first of all, thank you for listening or for watching the video. Let me share a part of my spiritual awakening. And it's something that is very present at this moment. Very, very present at this moment. My body has been cracking for a long time, and you probably have watched the videos or heard my videos or the podcast. It's been cracking since 2018. And I just let it do its thing, I have learned this is how my body readjusts itself. This is how the energies are moving. This is how my vertebrae are coming into their balance state. And I'm just witnessing and holding space for my being. There are other moments where my body itself shakes, it's all this cathartic movements to release energy. And then I feel great afterwards. We're actually my therapist, I had a session with him yesterday, and he's like, whoa, I don't think I've heard this before. I was like, what? And he said, like, yeah, like somebody has a cathartic experience like that, and then they feel good. Normally they feel like more crappy or tired. I'm like, no, I can feel tired, but I feel great. Like I let my body do its thing, right, and release. And again, it's me having learned from experience, and feeling this is nothing bad. This is actually what my body is doing, what my body needs to do. Who am I to cut that off from it? If, from consciousness speaking in a way, my being is full consciousness. And I'm this personal consciousness. Who is this personal consciousness that decides that it could put a pause or a barrier for consciousness itself? So I don't. Just let it do its thing. And let me tell you that I let my body do its thing anywhere. Anywhere. If you have been practicing yoga asana with me here in Lawrence, like while my teacher is teaching class, like you probably see me. There's many times where like I have to come into all fours and let my body crack, and it probably looks so fucking weird. And I don't care what people think or say. That's the last thing in me. Like the thing is like, okay, buddy, we need to crack. We need to move things around. All right, cool. Okay, crack feels good. All right, downward facing dog. Ooh. And it's sounded really weird, but what I said is like, okay, cool, downward facing dog. uh, yeah, with my parents, with family, with friends, with Derek's family. I'm out and about walking zoos, and I do have people saying like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm so okay. Thank you so much for asking." And so this crack, I've embraced it like a gift, like a really deep healing tool, if you will. And I'm grateful for it. I'm very grateful for it. So it's been doing different cracks than before, very different cracks. And it's realigning the back of my heart, which is highly uncomfortable. It's highly uncomfortable. It's painful at times, and not necessarily the crack itself, but the emotions that come out with that. The emotions that were stuck in there, the emotional pain, the memories that I repressed. because my heart is free in itself. It's like bursting itself open. And I'm like coming out like, a brand new baby, like super fucking sensitive. And it's like, let me breathe. Okay. I'm here. Okay. I'm safe. All right. Cool. Cool. And it does it again. And it does it again. And at times it's like such a weird position that my upper body does in order to get that spot in the back of my heart. And I feel the muscles expanding, and like pulling itself apart until it cracks. And then there's a big release. And then my neck realigns and my heart, like my vertebra, like my sternum realigns. And it's like, which is the cool thing, again, a cool blessing, a very cool blessing. And that is the physical aspect that can look so weird for the untrained eye, but it's in awe for the trained eye. It's like, whoa, your body just did this. What? And then again, like I was saying, it comes to emotions and the heart just opening up so much, remembering all the suffering that they had carried from their personal experience, and then from the lineage experience and the ancestors and the collective. It's like, whoa, okay, one thing at a time, please, one thing at a time. And it's deeply felt, like remembering the instances where I didn't feel loved, where I actually punished myself for me not loving myself, you know? And like going back in my memories of how my spine used to look like, how rounded my upper body was, protecting my heart space. And now that it is so open, then the back can actually expand and express and release all these things, which I know it's needed. I know it's needed. That doesn't mean that it's easy. That doesn't mean that it's easy, And this has been happening for probably a few months now, where like after a crack, I just feel so sensitive and I'm just like crying, remembering the pain, crying of just releasing the pain. And at the same time, like knowing, okay, like this is happening for my highest good. And this is happening because I love myself and I honor that. And I'm also honoring how fucking intense it is, how raw this experience is, that it's literally like my skin is moving away and I'm just like crawling out of it, feeling like, whoa, please don't touch me. Like I just feel like I need to be in my own bubble, in my own cocoon, because right now it's too much. It's too much to be around anybody else but myself and my puppy. He's always around. He's always around, especially when I'm going through an experience like this. And then finding, like the balance and the emotional aspect and the physical aspect. And then like, of course, the spiritual aspect, right? Because again, like my heart is bursting, opening up so intensely. And because of that, tapping into different variations of reality and different experiences and different dimensions, which is like fantastic, and finding the time of integrating and being alone and just being in my cocoon and just like taking it like one moment at a time, because that's all I can do. One moment at a time. What do I need? What does my heart need? Okay, do I need some cacao? Let me make some cacao. Do I need to go cry? Okay, let me go cry. Do I need to go scream? Okay, I'm gonna go scream, And it's just like, what else? How else can I take care of me? And I'm using every single tool that I have in my toolbox. And at the same time, I'm acquiring new tools because I'm reaching out of my bubble. Because there's things that like, as a teacher, as a guide, like I know my limits, right? Because before I became this teacher, before I became this guide for other sisters in their spiritual awakening, I was my own teacher. I was my own space holder, which I still am, 99% of the time, and I'm not joking, 99% of the time, I can hold my own space. And then I know where my threshold is. And it's like, ooh, whoa, this is something I don't know. I don't think I've felt this before. Let me just seek out for help. Honoring that as well, right? And like trying other things that I hadn't tried before and see how that helps. If that helps, if it doesn't, that's cool. Honoring that it doesn't as well. And then through this whole experience of my heart opening up and my throat opening up and my third eye and whatever, like feeling the difference in my physical body, feeling the difference of how I place my feet, how my hips feel, like how my shoulders feel, like one is not higher than the other one anymore. It's like now I can speak up my truth more than before. And also know when, the tongue was to be nasty. And can I take a step back from that? So I'm not throwing my emotional poison at somebody, but at the same time knowing that I'm not willing to receive emotional poison for anybody anymore. Letting my worth, knowing my worth, experiencing that to a different level, but loving so much deeper as well. And this is the beautiful thing, Had I not experienced all these dark things in my life, especially hating myself, especially wanting to end my own existence, I don't think I would have gone through the whole journey of spiritual awakening to get to this point when my heart is so open and is opening up even more, letting me know that it is safe to love more, deeper, that it's safe to expand the love to a new level that I hadn't experienced in this reality yet. So I feel like I am the seed of the new version of myself that is coming through. And it's like the cycle repeats, It's like the birthing cycle of life, death and rebirth. Like, okay, now like I was the seed and I'm coming through as this bush and this tree, and I'm expanding. Like I feel coming out of my heart space like a big tree and like raw. It's like feeling so raw, but so good. And at times it's like it's so much to feel it all at once. Yet I know that's a gift. So I give myself permission to be with all that pain of the cracking, of the alignment, of the emotional pain that was stuck for so long in my being. And I gave myself permission to feel all of that and to cry and to feel frustrated and to feel anger and to go back into my own memories like, what the fuck? But then it's like, okay, I can move through those cycles of energies, of emotions. I can be human right now. I can be messy. I don't need to be perfect at this. But knowing that that's the perfection, the messiness is the perfection, the me crying is the perfection, the me being angry and screaming is the perfection, the me of shaking my body is the perfection when I feel just like I don't know what else to do. To me, just being in stillness and laying in bed, cuddling with my puppy is all perfection. And it's all that I need at that moment in time. While I cry my eyes out. While I remember a memory where it was so painful that I didn't know how to express it. And it got stuck in my body, in my cells, in my energy. And it blocked my heart space. And going to that grief of like, who I was and who I am becoming and being in the in-between spaces. Like, holy shit, this is so much. But can I actually do all of this? Yes, I can. Because I know it's happening for me and for everybody else. Yet at the same time, I'm still a human. And I still feel deeply. And I still feel hurt. And I still feel not acknowledged. And I'm still working through so many things as my heart expands and tells me, you can. You can love even deeper. You can receive love even more. You can experience a higher love than you actually think that exist, a love that maybe you cannot even fathom right now. And this is what is happening. And it's through my tears and my anger and my rawness and like my darkest moments that I'm actually growing and expanding. That is the most beautiful part of it. Because I am in the soil, like a little seed in the darkness, and I'm watering the seed over and over with so much love. I'm nurturing it. I'm giving it energy. I'm giving it compassion. I'm like letting it know that you're safe to come through. This is what I'm doing in my own space in the darkness. And the darkness is so warm, just like when you put a seed on the earth and you let it grow, let it expand, it becomes alive through the darkness of the soil, through being buried in the soil. And this is what's going on. I bury myself so I can come back alive. Like I was saying over and over again, I'm that seed again. I'm in the womb of transformation, in the darkness, and I'm crying and I'm kicking and I'm screaming and I'm just saying, fuck, you know? And then, coming through like, oh, I can breathe again. Holy shit, I can breathe again. Okay, good, good. That is such a beautiful part of it. Why have we been so desensitized to say that that is wrong to express? Why have we sensitized ourselves just with like the perfection of a photo, the perfection of something that is seen as great, right? Like somebody smiling, but perhaps the smile is not in their eyes. Perhaps inside they're not smiling because they're in so much pain. And that doesn't mean that, the whole life is wrong, right? We go through shifts in our experience that at times, even when we're smiling, we're not really smiling through the eyes because we're working through something. We're working through something. But what a gift it is to be in this journey and expand, and to cry. Do you give yourself permission to cry? Do you feel that so deeply? Like it's like, oh, I just need to let it go, It's like, oh, it's so much to carry because the tears want to flow, in indigenous tradition, that's a medicine. That's a medicine that you can place it anywhere in your body where it feels like it needs that love, that support. It's okay to be messy. It's okay to be messy. So in this experience of this new cracking and this new awareness happening, in this new situation, in my own experience, I'm giving myself permission to be fucking messy. Even more, I'm giving myself the opportunity and the grace that like shit, if I don't do the dishes at that particular moment when I'm done with them, like it's not like life is gonna end, like it continuously goes and I'm gonna be okay if I do the dishes later. Like, and what if I break my routine a little bit? It's not the end of the world again. It's just the fact that at this moment, my body needs something else, and I can honor that. I can honor that. Can you honor that in yourself, And so here I am sharing this because it's so important to be raw with yourself, to be authentic, to just plain and simple, okay, be honest. Being honest, right now it fucking sucks. Or right now it sucks a little, Right now it just feels so raw. Like can be around people right now. I don't want to be around people. But maybe I just need a little bit of distraction of community and love. It's okay to move through those. It's okay, you know? So right now, my heart is expanding to such a fast degree that it's almost like I'm trying to hold on to something. So I'm not like, and realizing I don't need to hold on. I can let my heart take flight. And I know my heart is going to carry me with it as well. And maybe it's going to be a really fast flight. And maybe I'll get nauseous a little bit, you know, or like my stomach will drop like in roller coasters. And maybe that's what I need. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. And I'm okay with crying more. I'm okay with screaming more. I'm okay with shaking more. I'm okay. As long as I am truthful about my experience to myself first. To myself. So I'm not hiding from myself anymore. So I'm taking care of myself. I know what I need. I know what must be done. And I can do it little by little, you know? Not trying to rush into the race, right? Without the proper training, right? Not trying to go for a 10K when I don't even run 100 meters, you know? So it's like the proper training. It's like, what do I need? Okay, let me go gentle. If I need to slow down, I need to slow down. If I need to switch around things, I'll switch them, right? So I'm in this space of really taking care of me, honoring my space, not just my workspace, not just my physical body and my auric field and all my bodies, but also where I sleep, where I eat, where I play, where I sing, you know, like where I nurture, like my garden, and doing the things that supports the growth and expansion of my heart. So it doesn't feel as heavy as it sounds. It sounds very heavy. And that's because it was heavy. The energies were stuck. The energies were very heavy at the back of my heart. And the rock is falling. You know, they're falling like rocks. Big boulders are falling off the back of my heart. So it can fly even higher and faster. And I'm grateful. And I'm grateful. Mm, thank you. Thank you so much for listening, or maybe for watching. Honoring you, honoring me, honoring all of us. And sending you so many blessings and big loves. Chappies.